I've had the opportunity to work at Microsoft, be there at Amazon, right? These companies that are seen as being the top companies in the world. And I can speak very surely, at least at V75, right, that it is no different. In fact, our pace of innovation is even more rapid than theirs. The only thing that is missing is the resources and the environment to do it. We can do it right here. We just need the right investment. We just need the right focus, and we need that internal belief that we can do it.
Let's bring it back home.
Mm-hmm.
Guyana. I remember in your original developer story segment, which is just a minute and a half, but it was a lot that you shared in that minute and a half. You spoke about the interest to give back, to help develop Guyana's tech ecosystem. So I wanna bring that back home. You've been fortunate enough to have traveled, to have been afforded these opportunities elsewhere.
Yeah.
You've been fortunate enough to have these catalyzing environments.
Yeah.
To be able to activate your true potential. Born and raised here, right?
Yeah.
All right. But you were given an opportunity just a few years in a different environment. And you've completely blossomed.
Yeah.
I want to bring that back home here with regards to where Guyana is currently. We have naturally occurring talent.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
Of it. Yeah.
You're an example, a prime example of that. And there's so many others, countless individuals. But the key is the environment. Are we doing enough to activate our talent at home? While we've focused a lot on training, upskilling, right? I'm still waiting on someone to answer the question as to where these brilliant minds will work.
Yeah.
We have,
100%.
in my opinion, not moved the needle very much since 2016, the state of our tech ecosystem to now. There's still half or less than half of a handful of what they call these relatively mature tech companies that have talent acquisition potential. I'm not talking about the startups. I'm talking about the companies that are actually on a growth path, the tech companies that are on a growth path that are ready and willing to open their doors to new talent and hire them. Because of the oil and gas sector, we've seen a couple of tech companies, not endogenous per se, but they have created branches here. But they would have existed elsewhere, I think from Canada and so forth, and they've planted their branches here. That's all well and good. We're happy to see that. But we're not doing, in my opinion, we're overlooking the fact that there's so many ready and willing tech entrepreneurs here that have not been given any time of day, have not been given any support. They don't have any particular legislative incentives or let's say tax breaks, for example, to help them move from a fledgling state to a mature state in order to create that ecosystem that will receive all of the trainees that are going at some point are going to hit the world of work. So what's going to happen naturally is that even with the couple of companies that may have created branches here, we would still not have that ecosystem capacity to make good on retaining our talent. And that's one of the major issues. I'm just going to throw that out there. I mean, we're in tech. V75 is an organically grown tech company. We made it our mandate to hire only 100% Guyanese, and we love that. And so easy to outsource to India and make it by, but it won't help the situation, right? So I want you to just share, and then we can shift into our final segment. I want you to share any thoughts on that aspect based on what you've experienced elsewhere in terms of shifting things in terms of the environment here.
To speak to your point, particularly there, with what we're seeing currently in the landscape, right? you can upskill all of these individuals, but you need to create an environment where they're incentivized and encouraged to, let me pull together a few of my friends, right? Let's start the next Google. Let's start the next Microsoft, right? And it needs to happen in-house, because many of the problems that Guyana faces, right, needs the perspective of Guyanese, right? You can't, many times we're consumers of technology. Like, we'll take something, for instance, you'll see Uber in the US, and you'll think, oh, we can just take Uber as it is and come and insert it in here and it'll work. No, that does not happen, right? The culture is different. The legislation is different. The differences that the Guyanese people will expect and need to be able to interact with the technology is completely different. And you need that perspective. So if you're going to upskill all of these people, you need to create this environment whereby they can now be encouraged and incentivized to go and solve our own internal problems here in Guyana and be able to flourish, be able to feed their families, be able to expand and grow. And then we can be, I believe, the guiding example for the entirety of the Caribbean if we put our focus in the right areas.